Good morning and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Talk Mondays. I'm your host, Mason Kealy, where we believe that apart from your family, your mortgage and your house are probably your biggest investment, so it doesn't hurt to know just a little bit more. Today, we're going to take a little bit of a different direction, and we're going to talk about positive thinking, confidence, and even some creativity. We're in 2021 now, so Happy New Year's to everybody. And there's a lot of lack of confidence I find out there in people on what they think they can afford. Obviously, mortgages are a huge deal, and people go into them with a little bit of trepidation as far as thinking, well, my husband and I are pensioners and we don't have a lot of income. Or, could we really use the equity from our home to get a rental property? Can we afford that, right? And you'd be surprised with the level of interest rates and how low they are right now. It's directly reflective on what your monthly payments are going to be as well. So people are actually able to get surprisingly decent mortgages and make good purchases with lower income now. Plus, there's also options for people, too, that have, bad credit or, they've had life happen. There are lots of situations out there. So it's important to come and talk to someone, like me or a local specialist and say, what can I afford? Can I afford anything? But once we get all your details, we can actually lay that out for you. Today, our special guest is going to be Gina Harmsen. She's a local life coach, and she's fantastic. And we're going to talk about things like how to keep that positive thinking and confidence and how to stick to those New Year's resolutions. So without any further ado, let's bring Gina on the line. Hi, Gina. Welcome to the show. Very nice to see you in this New Year's.
Thank you. Hi, Mason. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. So one of the things I wanted to talk to the viewers about, which I mentioned in our intro, was coming into the new year, positive thinking, having a bit more confidence, and maybe using a little bit more creativity or using professionals to tell you creative ways to get things done. You've got Becoming Me, you're a health and life coach, so I'm sure you're very busy at the beginning of the year, everyone doing their New Year's resolutions.
Yes, absolutely. I seem to have a lot more clients come up or pop up or contact me at this time of the year, primarily looking at ways that they can, get somewhere, whether it's a new body or mindset or their health goals in some way, shape, or form.
So I've heard statistically people stick to their New Year's resolutions for a maximum of 2 months and then they normally drop off, right? So just kind of as a tidbit to help our viewers, what are some things that people can do every day that will help them maybe build a little bit more confidence or think a little more positive so they can beat that 2-month barrier?
I think it first comes down to what is it that you want? What is that New Year's resolution? And has it been something you've been thinking about for a period of time? Or is it you just woke up on New Year's Day and decided, oh, this is it, I'm going to get fit or I'm going to eat healthy? It really comes down to having an idea of what you want first. From there, it's about, we have all these thoughts that run through our minds. And if we don't have a why I want to do this, why do I want to get healthy? Why do I want to get fit? Maybe why I want to save money for a mortgage or buy a new car, or I'm looking at a house. If I don't really have something underneath it, why I want it, then that's one of the biggest reasons why people fall off. They're not connected to it in some way, shape, or form. It's not something they see for themselves. And so changing their mindset around wanting it, why they want it, will help create positive emotions around doing the things like setting goals, having a checklist of things that they want to do on a daily basis that move them in the direction of having these things or having the thing is really key. Mindset plays into everything we do. Our thoughts literally guide us from one moment to the next throughout the day. And so if I don't believe in myself in some way, shape, or form, or have something connected to what I've done in the past, an example is, say you want to start working out or you want to eat healthy. If it's something you've never done before, then your thought process will always be that maybe I can't do it because
Yep.
it's not something you've ever tried or taken the risk for. Or for an example, saving money to buy a house or looking at talking to somebody about a mortgage. It's not necessarily something I've done before. So maybe I've never really saved money. I wasn't capable of putting money aside in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not connected to learning the tools that I need to in order to seek out a professional and ask for help. So I think it's a conversation first, and then from there, it's starting to take the steps, reaching out to people, and planting the seeds of I can do this. It may be hard, it may take a while, but I can do this. And resolutions are one of those things that a lot of people want to make, but they don't want to put the time and effort into having the thing they want.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you too. Like it when the times start getting tough, when you've made those goals and they start getting tough, it's important to have something that's important to you that you identify with that'll help push you past that, like that to get you to that visualization. There's got to be some sort of importance to it, right? And
Absolutely.
and I see one of the reasons I brought up positive thinking and confidence too is one of the things I see in my industry. You'll get people in situations where they're like, maybe they're two seniors and they're on pension, and they automatically there's kind of a stigma about pension where they'll think, well, I can't afford to get my own condo, right? You know, I've been renting for a long time, or maybe we lost our home, right? And they're
Yeah.
looking, or maybe they want to upgrade a little bit, but they think, well, you know, I can't afford much. I'm on pension. Or someone that's maybe had, I always say, life happen, right? In 2020, maybe they got divorced and they're trying to make that transition into, okay, their family home got sold and they have to buy a new one, but I can't do it on my own income, you know, right? So it's important to talk to professionals and to look for that creativity, because they might not have thought of things like, like cosigners or different programs that might allow them to get those goals that they're looking for, right? And I think one of the really good things that you do at Becoming Me, and I'll give you a plug here. So for the viewers, I've worked with Gina at Becoming Me for her health and life coaching. You know, I'm getting a little older, and I got 4 kids, and I got to drop a bit of weight, and kind of. We were having a discussion earlier talking about learning how to give yourself some you time when you've got a busy family and kids. It's very hard, right? So I'd recommend someone talking to someone. Gina's fantastic, and helping yourself a little bit first is always handy. But one of the things that I was thinking of is coming into 2021, letting go of the reins. Tell me what you think about this. Like letting go of the reins and admitting to yourself, I don't know everything. Ask someone and maybe learn one new thing this year, right? Um, that's my goal. That's my goal. Is that I don't know everything. Asking one thing, and I mean that's what I ask of my clients. Reach out. I'm free. If you want mortgage advice, come to me. Tell me your situation. If it's not going to work, I'll tell you. Right. Just like with your business too. Like that was a fantastic point. Finding that one thing that you think will push you through that hard time to get that resolution done.
Absolutely. And I think in our society, we are surrounded with people who have opinions. And so we've developed belief systems about ourselves and what we're capable of based off of everybody else either saying something or hearing something. Or I talk a lot about with clients about the old story versus the new story, and who was I at one point, and who do I want to become. And
Mm-hmm.
when we are looking at positivity or creativity or building confidence or going for something, you have to decide at some point to let go of the beliefs that you have been carrying with you about who you say you are. If I'm not somebody that's previously been able to save money, that's something I believe about myself. And so I have to change that belief about myself, and having a professional help me understand that, oh, it's sometimes it's okay. So maybe it's not this year that you buy the new house or you upgrade or you get a new car or something. You start somewhere. You always have to start somewhere, and you have to start changing your perception of yourself and what you're capable of. Positivity and confidence and all of those things are developed over time. We develop them from the time we were children with influences in our society, our community, our parents, the people we engage in on a daily basis, our school. And so when we become adults, even with life situations that happen, we take on those beliefs about ourselves. And so it's interesting that this year has been, last year, 2020, has been such a, for some people, they managed through it, even with all of the chaos and maybe loss of jobs and the isolation, because they knew and believed that it was going to get better in some way, shape, or form, that it isn't a long-term situation. It's a short-term situation. And if I just keep doing what I need to do, eventually things are going to change.
You know what's interesting? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I think this was the first New Year's I can remember that I've seen, like, all the news media outlets and everyone. It wasn't just about celebrating the new year coming in. It was more of a sentiment of, thank God 2020's over. Let's hope 2021's better, right? Like, I noticed that shift. I've never seen people treat a year as a write-off, right? It's like they have this year.
And it's crazy. For me, it wasn't a write-off. I don't look at it as a write-off. There was a lot of lessons learned in 2020. There's a lot more lessons to learn in life in general. But it's like, if I constantly look back at something as always being negative, then what am I looking forward to? Because my perception is that there's nothing good. I don't have anything good to look forward to on some level, because all of my background, all of the past has always been bad. And even if I'm thinking it's going to be better, I have this negative grounding that is in me, thinking about all the bad constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like removing that. They talk about it, like all the motivational videos, and like, the Tony Robbins and the Mel Robbins, and everybody talks about, we change the way we think about things. We change the way we view things. Our belief systems change about ourselves, and we step out into our lives differently. Being creative is a development of being creative. It's expanding your mind at the possibilities. But you don't just wake up one day and, I can draw or paint or I can sculpt. You develop it. And I think people forget that, we live in this era where it's instant gratifications, our phones, social media, like everything's at our fingertips. And we don't want to work for something. Having a mortgage or saving money to buy something, a car, a house, clothes, groceries, requires budgeting, requires work, saving, changing your body, transformation, your nutrition requires work. You have to do the work.
Tell me about it. Well, and like I tell people too, like if someone comes to me and they say, I want to get a mortgage, all I can afford is a condo right now, but I have a bunch of kids, I need a townhouse. Even if we can't do that for them at this time, we'll do something like, we'll say, okay, well, you know what? Let's set a goal, a small one that you're going to hit in a couple months, and achieve that, and then set another smaller goal and another smaller goal. So they're kind of like baby steps. So I might, bring in a financial advisor from my group and sit down and say, okay, you know what? How much can you put away every paycheck, right? And start saving up that little amount. And maybe at the end of the year, you have enough to make that transition and jump into a townhouse, right? But it all starts with, I guess, reaching out to someone like me, or someone that's got a financial advisor on their team, taking that first little step, getting that first win, right? And trust me, I think getting your first win in 2021 will make you almost completely forget about the burning tire fire of 2020. And I heard someone refer to it as that. I mean, 2020 was actually, it was pretty decent for me, but because I was able to work from home, hence working in my office like so many other people out there. But it's been really hard on people, and I think the resolutions are going to be bigger than ever this year. And I'd recommend to people, make small goals and make a lot of them. Make them
Absolutely.
easily achievable, and it boosts up that confidence.
Mhm.
And I think another thing is too is reach out to professionals. You know, even if you don't even think you could possibly afford a house, like say you just moved to BC and you just got a job 2 months ago, you know, like I keep in contact with people. You know, I'll do a mortgage for someone that I've been talking to for a year, you know, right?
Mhm.
Just to get them into the right position, right? Um,
Absolutely. I think that's sorry, I don't mean to cut you off too.
oh
I
no,
think it's a big deal for the resolutions is even if it's you have a thought about you want it now or 2 months from now is even if it doesn't work out, you're still moving in the direction of having it.
yeah,
Setting those small goals and having those wins are huge because it gives you the confidence and gives you a sense of, okay, I can do this. It's a bit harder, but that's okay. I can do this. And I don't know why people are so afraid of reaching out to professionals. It's not, asking a question. There's nothing wrong with asking a question. Even I tell clients all the time, there's no stupid question. It doesn't exist because it's something you don't know. Therefore, that's a great place to be. It's a
yeah,
great place to be when you don't know something because it means there's an opportunity to learn and grow.
yep. As long as you accept it and actually learn from it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Very, very true.
I think even just being a sounding board with you, one of the things I think I'm going to focus on this year is small goals and lots of wins. That'll bring out my positivity. I know it's different for everybody, but I think I'm going to give that a try. And
Wonderful.
yeah, plus I'm going to try and trim down too. You know, that's so anyways, Gina, thank you very much. Once again, becoming me health and life coach. You're a good friend of mine, and your clients are in very capable hands. Thank you very much for making the time.
Thank you so much, Mason. It was a pleasure.
Wonderful. Well, I will chat with you again, and have a happy 2021.
You too. I look forward to seeing you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.